Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this morning when I got out of bed, I decided to go scour across the wild plains of YouTube, like I do sometimes. And I came across a very special specimen. Yes, a very special specimen indeed. And as you can tell by the video title, that specimen was the social justice vegan. Now, what exactly is a social justice vegan, you might ask? And you, I say, that's a dumb question. Okay, it is exactly as it sounds. All of the madness of social justice twisted together with the insanity of veganism. So the only real question is, why would anyone want to adopt both of these forms of madness together like that? Why would you do that? And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly why we're here. So sit back, relax, grab a club, and try to find a baby seal, because today we're answering that question.
Hello, all you beautiful beings.
No. Not beings. Bean. Yes, that's right. You see, I identify as a bean sprout. And I would like it if you and your vegan friends could stop killing all of my buddies.
Not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny! It's not funny!
Just so you know, I'm going to be looking at some notes on my screen, so my eyes are going to get hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is lying. She's not gonna be looking at nothing. Her eyes are not even open, and I don't think they open for the entire video. What are you doing? What are you even doing?
Start off by recapping what intersectionality means.
Don't even sweat it, fam. I got you. Intersectionality. The useless combining of things in an effort to shame others who do not share your newly formed label, and a way to make yourself feel superior.
Right, the form of feminism that says I'm both a sexist and a racist. Yeah, I'm definitely...
Intersectionality, or intersectional theory, was first introduced by critical race theory and legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw.
What the fuck is critical race theory? What do you even do? What do you critically think about races? That's what's wrong with you. You some bitches.
Actually discovered a TED Talk by her that I'm going to link below. I recommend watching it. So intersectionality, or intersectional theory, is described as, quote, the study of what Crenshaw contends are overlapping or intersecting social identities and related systems of oppression, domination, or discrimination. Intersectionality is the idea that multiple identities intersect to create a whole that is different from the component identities. These identities can intersect include gender, race, social class, ethnicity, nationality, sexual orientation, religion, age, mental disability, physical disability, mental illness, and physical illness, as well as other forms of identity. The theory proposes that we think of each element or trait of a person as inextricably linked with all of the other elements in order to fully understand one's identity. End quote.
What you just said is one of the most insanely
idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Let me give you an example. I'm a black woman. I am bisexual. I have psychiatric disabilities. I'm an atheist.
What's that supposed to mean? Is that supposed to be important? I don't care if you were a one-armed black bisexual tranny Jew butt pirate from the ninth circle of hell. It doesn't matter to me. That means nothing to me. We simply do not care.
So I know what it's like to occupy certain marginalized spaces.
Well, speaking of occupying space...
No! Don't do it! Don't do it, Captain!
Oh, come on. It was wide open. Wide open. Why you gotta ruin this for me?
No! Don't you fat shame her! You have no...
You know, Jeffrey, if you're going to comment on my girth, you could at least put some thought into it.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Well, I mean, there are just so many more interesting ways to say it. I mean, you could be poetic. His corpulent flesh rolls around his bones like a thick chocolate pudding. Or scientific. He is so huge that food comes to him from the gravitational pull alone. Or you could be quizzical. Is that your head or is your neck blowing a bubble? You could be ribald, ironic, vaudevillian, whatever. But be creative. You got that?
Anything you say, sir.
Then again, I come from a middle-class upbringing. My parents have 5 kids for whom they've always been able to provide food, shelter, healthcare, etc. We all had a chance to go to school through college. I was born and raised in the United States. I'm able-bodied and I'm cisgender in that I was assigned female at birth. I still identify as female, despite my love of not so feminine clothing and not wearing makeup.
No! Now I get it! I finally get it! Holy shit! This thing that you're trying to do, this thing that all social justice warriors try to do, the whole progressive stack thing! It's a dick measuring contest! Holy shit!
Yeah. Never mind. I'll be 30 years old at the end of next month, so I don't quite fall into the either too young or too old categories when it comes to, like, discussing things. So, in a lot of ways, I occupy many privileged spaces.
Oh yeah, bro. Well, check out the mighty length of my labels. I'm poor, I'm fat, I'm disabled. I'm a person of color who grew up in the hood, and I identify as a transsexual trapezoid. And bruh, check out the girth of my privileges, yo.
I understand that not all black people or people with psychiatric disabilities that not all of them come from middle-class upbringings, which leaves them at a disadvantage compared to me. You see, that's an application of intersectional theory.
No! That's the application of just some really, really dumb, useless shit!
Nope. You see, you're wrong. That used to be the case, but nowadays, that's basically the application for a victim card.
What the hell is a victim card?
Well, you see, my dear, it's a card that states how well hung you are socially, so people know how they measure up to you.
Well, that's pretty damn gay.
Just the gayest.
There's no dogma here. I'm not a bad person because of my middle-class upbringing or being cisgender, and neither am I a victim by default because of my ethnicity or my sexuality.
Then what is the use? What's the purpose of listing off all of that shit? What is your purpose here, madam?
Let alone beyond reproach. Really? Where does that even come from?
Social justice?
I think the rational thing to do is cite sources for that.
Right here, right now, you are my citation and my source. You see, you have absolutely no other purpose or reason for listing off, for labeling yourself all of these things. What are you seeking? What is it designed and intended to do? To state off how poor and how black you is and how many privileges you have? What is that intended to do if not to garner victim points? What is it designed? Tell me what it is. Otherwise, I'm left to assume what it is, what it so plainly and clearly is.
Victims are sacred, and so there's no standard of evidence or reason for any of this. There actually cannot be any standards of evidence or reason because that would mean that the so-called victims would have to justify themselves. Because of this, anyone who wants to can just claim another axis of oppression, big picture, and be parsimonious. You even have to be willing to work with racists and unpleasant means for the greater good. Like 100 years ago during the first Women's March on Washington, when black women had to march in the back. Letting them march anywhere, of course, would have been the just thing to do, but given the racist climate of the time, this would have undermined the entire movement from the perspective of the racist majority. The ends, achieving suffrage, justified the means, marginalizing black women. The only right thing to do, that's dishonest, and it's cult-like. But aside from that, it's not helpful. The best way to change someone's mind, someone who is racist or homophobic or has racist or homophobic tendencies, is not to call them racist or homophobic, but to engage with them on a friendly human level. Like the wonderful Daryl Davis, who literally befriends KKK members, like the racist of the racists, and even collects their hoods.
And do you really need evidence that discrimination based on race, sexuality, class, ability, etc., that those actually exist? Okay, then if you do, I can provide some links below. They take all but 2 seconds to click.
Yep. I went and I checked out your little article, the 11 facts of how people is racist or whatever, and half of your sources were citing the fucking Huffington Post. And sadly, I do not consider the Huffington Post to be a reputable source. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and give you a summation. If anybody wants to go and read this article for themselves and follow the sources and the citations, then you're more than welcome to go for it. But anyway, the summation of the article is that black people are put in prison more often, and their numbers are generally higher when it comes to crime and criminal-related matters. Her assertion is that this is because of racism. And of course, my assertion is that her assertion is faulty and full of shit. This is in no way evidence of discrimination based on race. Do you suppose that anyone discriminated a little Tyrone into robbing that liquor store, leaving his baby mama and causing both his family to have to go on welfare and his baby to grow up without a daddy? That's not discrimination. That's a serious problem in the black community. Is that something that you would like to talk about? Yes, discrimination exists, but you see it in places where there are none, and that stops any real problems from being addressed or solved properly.
As far as why I think an intersectional approach to vegan advocacy is important and helpful, as I've said many times, I feel caring about people is usually a good motivator for them to see your point of view. You know, other than what PETA does, using them as a political prop. Like when PETA, 2 years ago, I referenced this in my PETA video, that they offered to pay the water bills of people in Detroit. Detroit was having a water crisis. They offered to pay their water bills if they would go vegan for a month. Like that's not really caring about people, that's just using them as the thing for your agenda.
Oh, and how right this young lady is. You see, the proper way to push your ideas onto other people is not to incentivize them through offering help as a reward, but to shame them for doing the things that you don't want them to do. Ostracize those bastards until they stop eating meat and join your cult.
And now this is something I shouldn't have to tell rationalists and people of science, but human beings are animals too.
Madam, I have told you my pronouns. I'm a fucking bean sprout. Why must you continue to marginalize my people?
Not funny, plus not funny,
Equals not fucking funny!
I mean, do these people have to go back to film 101? If you want a joke to work, you need humor.
Don't you know that?
This includes humans of color, LGBTQ plus humans, humans with disabilities, humans of various religions, ages, ethnicities, and so forth.
The word you're looking for is everybody! All the people's everybody! You don't have to explain it, motherfucker, just say all the people!
What, am I really supposed to listen to Unnatural Vegan and the vegan atheists callously throw marginalized people under the bus and not care about their plight and just smile and nod?
Yeah, you don't have to sit there and take that stuff that has nothing to do with you. You should stand up for those marginalized people. Speak up for them because they don't have a voice. I mean, clearly you've met them all and have intimate relations with them. Clearly you care about them, so you can speak on their behalf and defend those poor, weak, defenseless, helpless bastards.
Holy shit, she kind of sounds like a bigot.
No. You see, it's different because she cares. Rational vegan, madame. You can only choose one.
And rational people don't define academic theories based on what they come up with by spending 5 seconds Googling or 5 seconds on YouTube.
Like, she's right. Like, where is your gender studies degree and your veganism degree? Wait, there isn't a vegan degree, right? Please, God, tell me there's not a veganism degree.
Just saying. I am a social justice vegan because animal liberation is a justice issue.
Oh, tell them, sister, we will liberate all the animals. We will set them free from their cartels. We will set them free from all who are oppressing them by giving them better lives than they would otherwise have in the wild. Viva la resistance!
I'm a social justice vegan because vegan foods are not cruelty-free if they involve child labor and worker exploitation.
Oh my gosh, you're such a good and moral person. Oh, sweetheart, you're so fantastic. But if I might, just a little question. What about them clothes you wear? Yeah, what about your shoes? What about them curtains? What about your household appliances and the computer that you're on? Are those child and worker exploitation free? Yeah, you don't know, do you? You have no clue. You don't care, do you, some bitch?
I'm a social justice vegan because a capitalist system that would rather throw away spotty fruits and vegetables than give them to hungry people is not worth maintaining.
She's right, you know. Why don't we give all the spotty expired fruits and vegetables that nobody else would even buy and just give it to the hungry? Who cares if they get all sick and shit? You asshole.
I am a social justice vegan because no matter how people try to spin it, veganism in this world is political. I'm a social justice vegan because the meat industry kills billions of animals per year, while also polluting the air we breathe and the water we drink and exploiting workers. I am a social justice vegan because there are people in power right now who want to get rid of environmental regulations and conservation efforts that would save human and animal lives.
Oh my god. Oh my god, she is right. She is right. Quick, everyone. There's no time to lose. We all know what we have to do now.
Wind, water, heart, go planet!
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero.
I'm a social justice vegan because I don't want veganism to be a small, exclusive club that never makes any progress because we're too busy navel-gazing. I'm a social justice vegan, and I can't be bothered if you're too lazy to learn. I'm a social justice vegan, and I don't want to apologize for it. I'm a social justice vegan, and no, I won't work with racists.
Why are you so smug? Why so smug? Like, you know what? You're just as petty as the racists. You know what? Because you can't overlook some insignificant shit to deal with the greater problem. You just gonna let little Wilbur and little Babe die because you're racistophobic. What's wrong with you?
I'm a social justice vegan, and don't tell me to play nice with people who think I'm subhuman. Thank you.
Okay, but remember, when the people you think are subhuman don't play nice with you, don't cry about it.